Hi, Scott Cushman from Digital Fish with my trip report Friday the 27th of March. While you guys were tucked up in your beds at 4:30 this morning, Matthew Hewitson from Fishing in God's Zone magazine and I were up and early out for the 6 a.m. bite time up in the Rodney Coast. Fantastic morning, and the snapper were hungry and they were everywhere. They were attacking the burley on the surface, they were attacking our fishing floats as we fish for piper. They even attacked our cameras. And as you can see, they were everywhere. 25 to 35 centimetre snapper had escaped from Goat Island and were plaguing us left, right and centre, stealing our bait, having lots of fun. It was an eventful morning, we catching lots of snapper. The real snapper didn't turn up though until about 8 o'clock. Even though the bite time was from 6 to 8, some of our better snapper came from about 8:30 onwards. Here's Matt with a nice 2.5 kilo snapper caught on a lump of skipjack tuna. I tried instead to use mackerel and piper that I'd caught from the same location. I had a good run here from the snapper and struck on a whole piper and hooked up about 2.5 kilos this fella. So he came home for dinner with me. Good size fish, good size eating fish. Not only snapper, but we also had kingfish turn up around the rock. I had a live piper out. You might be able to see the kingfish here come up for the piper. Several times he came up. I presented it to him 4 or 5 times. We burleyed, but he wouldn't take it. This is the first time I'd seen a kingfish not actually take a live piper because they love them. So that was our morning, and we were about to pack up, and then we looked up and saw behind our burley bag a fish the size of a stand-up paddleboard with fins and teeth. This is fantastically huge bronze whaler shark, the thick end of 200 kilos. We baited him up, we put burley in the water and he came around. He was huge. He was a big boy. We had a tuna and clip the tail off and throw that on a rope to try and bait him up to get him close to the surface. Yeah, he was sly, he was sneaking around. He wouldn't come up for the tuna straight away, but eventually he came through. You can see him here with the tuna hanging out of his mouth. Matt was hanging on to the other end of that rope. My money was on the shark. Gave Matt a bit of rope burn, quite a bit of fun, but it was amazing. At one stage Matt was looking down his throat as he came up just near his feet. Eventful morning, but we just had to pack up and go somewhere else. We saw some mutton birds along the way, and Matt wanted to pat a couple, so we went up for a bit of a closer look, but we can't show you what happens next. We landed on another rock, and I scored the best fish of the day on a whole dead piper. Lovely snapper here, about 5 kilos, 64 centimetres. That end of the day, it was time to go home. We had snapper, we had bronzies, we saw kingfish. It was a great day on the rocks today. Scott Cushman from Digital Fish, thank you for listening to my trip report Friday the 27th of March.